So no, I do not recommend CG Cosmetics. I would never get another surgery there again in my life. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica, so if you're new here, welcome. I just had recorded this whole video set up with in my room with, not gonna lie, like a nice little candle lit. I was in a really cute outfit and I sat there for about 20 minutes and I guess there was a problem with my memory card or something because the video did not save. So here I am reporting live from my couch, which, whatever. It's not even that serious. I just wanted to come on here and write a review, film a review for CG Cosmetics. As most of you guys know, I had a mommy makeover about 12 weeks ago. I got a breast augmentation and a tummy tuck. I actually vlogged the whole journey. So my pre-op, my post-op appointment, the day of surgery. I basically took you guys to Miami with me and did a whole surgery journey. I will leave that link down below. I also did a mommy makeover transformation, so I'll leave that link down below as well. But basically, I just wanted to do a review on the whole facility because I have a lot to say. But if you're new here, make sure to subscribe because my next video is going to be mommy makeover tips. So I'm going to be talking about things that really helped me recovery-wise with my augmentation and my tummy tuck. But let's get started. Originally, I looked into Spectrum Anesthetics, and they had turned me down because you have to be a year postpartum, and at this time Maddox was only 6 months old, and of course me being so impatient, I looked up other places and I came along CG Cosmetics. I don't know if it was just the time of the year that I went because I had my surgery in April, and I know that's spring and maybe people, you know, were trying to get their bodies nice for summertime, but basically from the moment that I went in, I know you guys heard me say before that I waited like 3 hours in the waiting room and everything took so long, and basically it took them days to return any of my phone calls, even if it was important. But overall, I feel like they just treated you like you were 1 in a million. Like literally that's how I felt. Like you didn't matter. You individually did not matter because there's millions of patients there. You're gonna get pushed to the back burner for this and that reason. And it's kind of like they didn't give you that welcome in, like, we want you as a patient. Like there was just nothing. Like it's kind of like you didn't matter. Like we're giving you this surgery for cheap, so this is how it is. So I had Dr. Lesson. I can't remember if I said that already, but I had looked into him previously and I really liked his work. But let's back it up. So before I even start talking about anything, I'm gonna say it's a definite no. This is not a positive review on CG Cosmetics. This is a bad review. So if you're looking for something more positive and optimistic, this is not the place to be. But anyway, starting with my service coordinator, she would not return my calls even if it was important, you know, like 3 days late. So she actually told me for my mommy makeover that I had to stay up to 7 days. She said, I have it in a vlog actually, between 5 to 7 days that you had to stay. Now meanwhile, while I'm post-op, the guy is telling me that, the nurse practitioner is telling me that he won't even think about taking my drains out until day 10, and day 10 would be he would consider taking them out. I stayed my 7 days. He said that I was gonna have to fly back to get them removed. Thank God, I know, you know, I had a friend here in the healthcare field take them out for me. Not everybody has that option. He said most 90% of people fly back to have their drains removed. So also, if you haven't been following me, you don't know that I had a necrotic belly button, which means my belly button died and literally came back to life, which most people don't get that lucky, so I'm very grateful for that. So less than 1% of people get necrotic belly buttons, right? Usually they are smokers or obese, and I am not either of those things. So I thought it was so super rare that my belly button had gotten necrotic. But I was watching, after my procedure, I was watching one of Dr. Miami's Snapchats, and he was doing a tummy tuck, and she had a scar above her belly button just like mine. I know you guys, if you see my transformation, you remember my long scar from when I was a baby. I had surgery. And he said that he was pulling that scar all the way down to get completely rid of it, because under that scar usually is dead scar tissue. And my scar only got moved down to where my incision line was. It's still there, you can barely see it, but it's still above that line. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's why it stopped the blood flow from going to that area. I don't know, honestly, I'll never know. But I'm just saying this, like, if you are looking forward to getting a tummy tuck and you have a scar, that's a good topic to bring up. But I'm going to talk about that after. When I came, first of all, my post-op appointment, I had my surgery that night. Speaking of, my surgery was scheduled for 2 o'clock, right? I did not get seen, or they didn't call me back for surgery until like 6 something. I know I've said this in the video before. And the whole process was just super sketchy. Like, there were no rules on to where to go or anything. So you have to go to the back of the building and you just walk in, and it's this really sketchy, just yellow hallway. And then you go and you sit in a waiting room that's super, super, super small. There was like 5 seats in there. And you don't check in with anybody. You don't say like, hi, I'm here to have my surgery today. It's nothing. You literally just sit there and wait for a nurse to come back and call you back. Even if it's like I was waiting the 3 hours, no one talked to me within that 3 hours. No one was like, hey, we're running a little bit behind. It's kind of like you just have to sit there. Meanwhile, you have to not eat. So I didn't eat since the day before and I was starving. And after they called me back from the waiting room, I sat in like, they bring you in this room and have you put a surgical gown on and your scrub cap on, and I sat there for about an hour. Then Dr. Lesson came in, and I have to say, yes, his bedside manner was very nice, but he was kind of like, he saw me for a second, drew on me, and then he was like, all right, you're next. And I felt like he didn't tell, no one gave me a reason as to why my surgery was pushed back so far. I'm guessing that he had surgery all day long and he was like scheduled back to back to back, and then here I am, the very last surgery, and that made me nervous alone. Like, I'm like, oh my god, you've been standing in the OR performing how many surgeries all day, and here I am, 6 o'clock at night, the last one, and he looked exhausted. Like, I was just scared at that point. But anyway, regardless, my post-op visit, I was supposed to get to, you know, try implant, like put the implants in my bra, see what size I want, see if I wanted the silicone or the saline, whatever, and I didn't get to do that. I was waiting forever for not even to get to do that. All I did at my pre-op was sign the paperwork. And then I remember she was trying to explain something to me about CG Cosmetics on their website or the email or something to do with my phone. And she was like, do you have a Google account? And I was like, no, because I just didn't want to be bothered. But she was like, let me see your phone. And she went on to the Google account and she wrote herself a review. I think her name was Jennifer. She gave CG Cosmetics 5 stars and specifically wrote her name, like that she was such a good whatever she was. I don't even know because she wasn't my service coordinator. And then she had handed me my phone back and didn't even tell me that she did it, and I had later went up and seen the tab of her writing herself this 5-star review, and I was like, what the heck? So I had the surgery and whatever. So I got out of surgery a couple hours later, and at this point I literally just opened my eyes and felt like they were rushing me out. I think because I was the last patient, they were like rushing me out of the bed. There was no like, how are you feeling? Nothing. They were just like, hey honey, you're up, like come on, let's go, we gotta get you in the wheelchair. Basically, I was just not happy with any of it. When I went for my post-op appointment, that was the first time I got to see like my whole self. So I had Raheem take pictures of me, and I remember him looking at my belly button, because if you guys remember, that was the part that I was most excited for, was my belly button. He took the bandage off and was like, oh, and was stared at it for a second and was like, oh, you got a belly button, right? That was it. Looking back now, I can tell that my belly button was necrotic and was going to get worse. My stitches were, I'll show a picture actually, so if it's gross to you, skip ahead because it's not something appealing. So boom, picture. I had stitches around my belly button, and I could tell they were black, so it was hard for me to understand, but in my mind I was like, he looked at it, it's fine. No, I can tell now that my belly button was necrotic, and I don't know why he didn't say anything. I know he was thinking that I was going back to New York, so maybe that's why. But anyway, when I got back to New York, it was worse. I could literally see like the skin around my belly button, like my actual belly button, it was spreading. It was turning black because it was necrotic. And I was calling them, I was calling their emergency hotline things, no one was answering. And then I kept getting, oh, I'll put a message in, they'll call you back. Oh, I'll put a message in, they'll call you back. Nothing. 3 days went by, nothing. The night that I thought that it was necrotic, I had went to the ER and they had confirmed that it was necrotic, but no one here would even look at me, no matter how much money I was willing to pay them. And no plastic surgeon wanted another part of another plastic surgeon's work, and that's everywhere you go. So this is just a warning video, basically, to not travel out of state to get plastic surgery. But they didn't get back to me. Actually, I had reached out to Dr. Lesson, has his own personal office aside from CG Cosmetics, and I reached out to his office, and within 10 minutes they got back to me. Were like, email me your pictures, let's see what we can do about this. And I wasn't even their patient. I did not pay them a dime. So I have to say I was really grateful for them at that time, but they told me that my belly button was dried blood and just to clean it, which was wrong. But I'm guessing maybe from the pictures they couldn't get, you know, they didn't know, it was hard for them to see maybe. But also Dr. Lesson did answer when I called his private office as well, like the late night hotline, and he said to just put Neosporin on it. No. So anyway, the nurse practitioner ended up answering me at CG Cosmetics 3 days later after me throwing like this big hissy fit, and he gave me, you know, a cream for my belly button, and it slowly started to heal. It's still a little red, but every day it's looking like so much better than it was, and I'm just so happy that I didn't have to get it debrided. But those 3 days that I was waiting, it was getting worse and worse and worse, and no one would look at me or touch my belly button. Like, it was crazy. So no, I do not recommend CG Cosmetics. I would never get another surgery there again in my life. And I just wanted to say this and spread awareness because I just had the worst, most terrible experience with them. I'm super, super happy with my boobs. I think they're a little big, honestly, but that's just because I had like no boobs before, I think. And my stomach looks great. I will show that to you guys. I showed it in my last video, but I guess I'll show it again now. Great, so this is my belly button that I was talking about. See how it's just a little red now? But I'm overall really happy here. So I will put a before clip of my belly button and my scar. Alright, so here's my transformation basically afterwards. So this is my belly. That's my belly button that's slowly healing. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!